This is somebody that I've known for a while now. Has anybody heard of the barter system? I don't know if I've shared this before. Has anybody ever heard of the barter system? When you think about the barter system, what do you think about? Exchanging, sharing, value for value. And when I grew up learning about observing the barter system in work, usually I would see it on a movie or a TV show. And what it would be is typically it was usually people that were very broke or poor, and they were bartering with each other because that's all they had to trade. If they had money, they would do it. But since we don't have money, let's share. Let me do something of value for you. You do something of value for me. And growing up, that's what I thought the barter system was. If you don't have money, then you barter. As I got older and as I started experiencing different social economic groups, from the multimillionaires to the multi-billionaires, that's when I discovered bartering. The higher you go up in the social economic ladder, that's where bartering exists. It's when you are lower, in a lower vibration, lower frame of thinking, that everything has to be in exchange of money. When I met Vince, all he did was give value. That's all he did. Hopefully, maybe tell the story one day, but I reached out to Vince. I was transitioning careers, and I said, Vince, let me shadow you. Within a week, I was at his house. I was shadowing him, and they were at his house. He introduced me to his entire family. I could have been a killer. He introduced me to his family, right? All right, but that's when and then because he gave me so much value, all I do is look for ways to give Vince back value. And one of the valuable things I'm doing is let him talk to y'all audience. This audience, please give it up for Vince Perri.
Appreciate you, man. Is it right? All right, guys, thank you so much for having me. Of course, when I go to speak, my voice is about to go, but that's all right. We'll get through it one way or the other. First of all, round of applause to Christina and Shireen. Honestly, great presentations. Shireen, your story is incredible. That's the true entrepreneurial dream. That is like the story of all entrepreneurs. What you didn't talk about is a lot more of the pain and suffering that you probably went through on a day-to-day basis. You skipped over all that part. But I'd like to have you on my podcast one day. I think it'd be really interesting. I live down in Tampa, so I'd love to have you on. It'd be really cool. Guys, I want to start with something very unique that you're not going to be expecting. I am a business broker. I am a business strategist. I like to specialize in really trying to get you guys set up for an exit. But I don't even say exit because if you can grow your business to sell, it's also a great business to own. But with that said, I want to get you guys in the right mindset. There is a framework that has really, really worked for me tremendously. The framework is very simple. It's SDE. Sense it, desire it, expect it. If you want to achieve anything that you want to achieve in your life, in your business, for your family, for your friends, for whoever, you guys have to visualize it first. Now I'm getting to the point, eventually we're going to talk about business, but it all starts with having the actual vision of what that business looks like. Having the actual vision of what your life looks like. But it's not just the vision. I've got a vision board. Who has a vision board? By the way, great tip. I got mine as my wallpaper on my phone, and I see it every time I unlock my phone. I've got it on my computer as well. But the vision is just one of the 5 senses. You have to try to get into the practice, and this could be called prayer, meditation, manifestation, whatever it is that you want, foo-foo, whatever, it doesn't matter. It works, guys. At the end of the day, it's science. We're all made up of cells and atoms, which is what? 99% energy. If you can get yourself in the right mindset and move your energy towards the direction that you want to get to, guess what happens? You get there. So I want you guys to get out your phones, pull out the notes app, if you don't have a pen and paper, and I want you to write something down that you really want to achieve in your life. Whether it's a dollar amount in your business, or whether it's a house that you want to buy, or whether it's a partner that you want to find, or whether it's just something in your business that you want to achieve, I would like for you guys to write it down just so we could have it there. Okay? And then eventually you don't have to do the practice now. I'm not going to ask you guys to close your eyes and visualize or anything like that, but I would like for you guys to at least have it on your phone so you can get started. And the thing about sense it is, like I said, there's 5 senses. So I would like for you guys to just get into the practice of Not only visualizing it, but feeling it and touching it and smelling it. Like the whole thing, you want to be able to get in that moment. If it's a house that you're dreaming of, what color are the doors? When you walk inside, what color is the floor? Is it a wood floor? Is it a tile floor? What color is the paint? Is there texture on the paint? What's the smell that's coming out of the kitchen? Very, very important when you're trying to visualize success in your business. The D part is to desire it. You desire what you want to acquire, but what's even better is you desire what you want to acquire for others. So you have to think about that goal that you wrote down, and you have to think about how will that actually benefit somebody that you love, somebody that you care about, somebody that's close to you. Because that's when the true magic happens, is when you desire for someone that you actually care about. That's where the why comes in. And then my favorite of the three is the expected. It's already happened. It's happened already. Whatever it is that you wrote down, you have to walk, you have to talk, you have to act, and you have to live your daily life as if it's already happened. Okay? Every single day. It's done. I've already got the Corvette that I want to get. I already got it. I don't have it, but I'm going to have it. So I wanted to start like that because when you're thinking about your business, you have to make sure that you visualize it. You have to start with the end in mind. Okay? Now we're thinking into the future, and in meditation you want to stay present, and there's also a very good practice that was taught by Dave Sullivan of Strategic Coach. If you guys know who he is, he talks about the gap in the gain. Anybody heard about the gap in the gain? Where you can't think about the future too much, because as entrepreneurs we're always thinking about the horizon, and sometimes the horizon just keeps going. You have to think about the accomplishments that you already have. So it's good to just visualize and already have the end in mind. It's very important, which is basically what we're going to be talking about, is basically building your business for a 7-figure exit. The cute part here, though, is without ever selling. You don't have to sell. It's really up to you. If you could build the machine, if you could build the business the way you're supposed to build it, which is basically as its own product, I recommend a book called E-Myth Revisited, which basically teaches you to build your business as its own product. Like you take your business, you take all the systems and the employees and the processes and the marketing strategy and the sales systems and everything, you wrap it up into a box, you tie it up, that's your product. That's how you have to run your business from day one. So whether you guys have been in business for 1 year, 3 years, or 10 years, always have the end in mind. Always try to increase the value of that business, okay? Because the more that business could run itself, okay, the more valuable that business is, the more more freedom you could have, and the more you could actually have the opportunity to get that 7-figure exit. How cool would it be as you work for 10 years and you have an opportunity to sell your business for $10 million? Most of you guys here are entrepreneurs or thinking about becoming entrepreneurs. Imagine the possibilities if you just had $10 million direct deposited into your account. Imagine, Randolph, what can you do to some of these people in here if they had $10 million, right? The options though, right? How you could use that money to make more money, it's very important. So, what do I got here? So let me tell you my story. The reason why I'm so passionate and I want to make an impact no matter what I'm teaching. I don't care if I'm teaching business, public adjusting, or freaking tennis. My passion is to make sure that I am very impactful, and I try to do whatever I can, because I was a tennis coach for 15 years. I taught kids from 4 to 94 years old, and I taught elite athletes as well who played college tennis, played tournaments, and it was what I was the most passionate about was really like the mental toughness part and making sure that they could succeed and do everything that they possibly can. But what I learned through 15 years of teaching tennis is I'm able to take a complicated subject and simplify it in a way so that everybody could actually understand. 16 years of entrepreneurship. During a little bit of that time, I was a public adjuster. I also owned my own I owned my own tennis academy that I ended up selling because I had to move to Tampa. This is when I was living in Miami. And then I became a public insurance adjuster full-time, got my own company, Elite Resolutions, scaled it to well into the 7 figures. Now it's running smoothly. Public adjusting industry is it's a little tight, a little rough right now these days. 5 years ago, as a public adjuster, I read the book Crushing It by Gary Vee. Gary Vee says, give it away, all the information on social media, and give all the information away as often as you can. I had a failed YouTube channel with my wife, a travel channel. You guys can go check it out, Make It Work and Travel. It's not very good. I did all the editing and the shooting, not that good. But I learned how to use YouTube, and then I was like, wait a minute, I've been doing this for 10 years. Why don't I just start a YouTube channel for public adjusting? So I did that. I didn't think that the audience was the consumer, because most people don't care about an insurance claim until it actually happens to them. I was 10 years of experience. I'm like, you know what? Let me just educate the public adjuster. It's how I met Randolph Love, and it worked. It sort of just grew from there. And the reason why I wanted to do it was because I wanted some kind of recurring revenue. Because in insurance claims, you don't get paid until you find a claim, and then the claim actually gets paid, and you're constantly in this like hamster wheel of trying to find more claims, and there's no consistency whatsoever, like at all. So I was like, how can I make public adjusting into a recurring revenue? My first idea was just to write a book, okay? But then with the YouTube channel, it ended up being a course, several workbooks, and now a mastermind when I teach other public adjusters throughout the country. And the beauty about it is, quite frankly, it's not a multi-million-dollar business, I will admit here, but it's a virtual business, which means I am well into the six figures, but I'm at about an 80 to 85% profit margin. So that kind of makes up for it. And it takes probably 1 hour a week from my time. Because the books, there's free, you were talking about it, Shireen, with the lead magnet, stuff like that. There's a free lead magnet, then there's a $47 book, then there's a $297 course, and that all leads you through a nurture sequence into the mastermind, and all I do is 1 hour a week on the mastermind. So recurring revenue is very important, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So now that the public adjusting industry is kind of shaky, my public adjusting firm is running fairly well. It's doing what it's doing. I don't have to do much. I decided to get into the world of business brokering, business scaling, business exiting, and really increasing the valuation of other people's businesses. And if, of course, somebody who has a business to sell, I can broker the deal and we can find a buyer and we can work at it. Or if you're a buyer and you want to buy a business and you have a criteria that you're looking for, we could find you a business that's selling. That's what I'm doing basically full time now. I'm all in on it. I'm ready to go. And I will make you an offer before the end of the show. Because what I provide is a value clarity report, so it's not just brokering the deal. If you are at all interested in knowing the valuation of your company, whether you want to sell or not, I'm telling you it's very important to have a ballpark idea. Have an idea of how it's calculated, have an idea of what it's worth, and then also, I'll tell you one thing, is everybody's got a number. Even if you never want to sell, and you want to hand it off to your kids, somebody comes to you with $20 million, you're going to take it. Everybody's got a number is what I've learned, okay? So what I do in my initial interview with somebody, and I get to know their business and I get to know them, I ask them, what's the number? What's the number that puts a smile on your face? Actually, somebody told me yesterday, he's like, actually, this number puts a smile on my face, but this number makes me jump up and down. I said, okay, what's the number that makes you jump up and down? And then I create a roadmap. Okay, I create a 1, 3, 5, or 10-year roadmap, depending on how far I think it is. And I basically give you the entire KPIs, checklists, and just step-by-step things you need to do on a yearly basis to get you to that dream number. Okay? And it all boils down to 3 things. We can sit here and talk about systems and processes and marketing strategies and CMOs and CFOs and CTOs and all the other C-suites that they have in there. But a valuable business comes down to 3 things. It's the question that I am asked. Every time I list a business and buyers are interested, they ask me these 3 questions. Number 1 is, how much does the owner work? Like, how many hours does the owner actually work? That's question number 1. How involved? How owner dependent? I got a little thing here, right? How owner dependent, right? Is it very owner dependent? I've got a business, a plumbing company I literally just took off now because the guy ended up telling me he wasn't working at all, and he's like just a slave to the company. That's not good. So you need to get yourself away from the business. I'm going to teach you the coolest freaking thing on how to do that if anybody's here struggling. The next thing is the recurring revenue, right? I'm going to get you started. Start thinking about this now. Who was just talking about it? Was it you, Randolph, right? I think you talked about recurring revenue. Guys, doesn't matter what you sell. Who got that book? Where's the book? Did she leave already? Oh, man.
Which one? There was 3.
The last one, the build to sell. Who got it? That one. I'm telling you, that book will change your, you're in mitigation, right? What? Go give Randolph a hug right now. That book will change your business. I'm telling you right now, it's going to change everything. Like seriously, because what that book is about is a marketing agency. And it's funny, I asked Tara and she's up on it. It's about a guy who's got a marketing agency and he slaves and he does all this and he does all that and he ends up basically narrowing down on one niche and he's able to scale that one niche and build an entire business off of it. But recurring revenue is just finding the most important part of your service or a part of your business that you could actually have a subscription monthly fee that's coming in every single month, no matter what. That's the second thing that a buyer is looking for, consistent recurring revenue. And then the third thing is cash. Cash. It's got to be cash. Now, I get it. End of the year, you don't want to pay taxes. Randolph's all about like, no, you ain't paying taxes. Do this, do that. I got you. I mean, I didn't.
Taxes do not exist.
However, in the preparation of a sale, if you're going to do that, you better show cash. You better show profit, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's get cash out of the way. Basically, I'm going to give you this super simple way of the way we calculate a valuation of a company. It's basically your income as the owner plus the profit times a multiple. That's the simplest way. There's other things like taxes and depreciation that's included and discretionary expenses and stuff like that. But for the most part, how much cash does the company make and how much does the owner make? You combine that. That's relatively your SDE, seller discretionary earnings, and then you put a multiple on it. The multiple is the key though. If you're not profitable, if it's owner dependent and there's no recurring revenue, you're going to get a 2x multiple. If you've got the three things that I'm telling you about, it could be up to a 5, 6, 7x multiple, really depending on the industry. So it's very important that you guys make cash, okay? And have clean books. Clean books. You don't even want, I'm sure, Randolph, you see it too. Some of the profit and loss statements that I see are just like, how is this person even running a business? QuickBooks Online is not hard to use, okay? And I will advise you that you get some kind of financial person, bookkeeper that can help you. The best program and the best system you could ever use, write it down right now, buy it on Audible, buy it on Kindle. Profit First. Buy it, get it, and read it. Profit First. Basically, you take your business and you open it, and you open 5 accounts for your one business. The revenue account where all the money comes in, the profit account so you could actually give yourself profit in the company, because I've been there where you just don't put any profit away and then bad things happen. Taxes you got to put away. Unfortunately, you got to pay them no matter what. And quite frankly, guys, the more taxes you're paying, the more you're balling, right? Like, come on, let's go. Taxes, tax account. The next one is the owner distribution account. Operating expenses, okay? It breaks it down. I can recommend you a coach. I actually have a Profit First coach. I'm happy to recommend her to you. She's great. She's helped me a lot. All right. Anybody ever heard of the money tree? Recurring revenue is the money tree. It's the business money tree. It's how you continue to just put money into the bank account, into the business without having to do anything at all. Does anybody have a recurring revenue model in their business here? Yep. Super important. Super important. You don't have to worry about once one and done and then they're in. I'll give you a story of my AC person. When I first bought my house, we had to change the AC. Company, hot to cold. Company changes the AC and he upsells me on the membership. The membership is $15 a month and we'll come whenever you need a repair and we'll give you 10% off. And we'll also do an inspection of your AC every 6 months, twice a year. I'm like, cool, that's great. $15 a month. Literally, I've forgotten about it. Well, guess what happened on Sunday on Father's Day? True story. My AC went out. Who am I going to call? I'm going to call that company. But if I didn't have that membership, what would I do? I'd go on Google, I'd find the AC company nearest to me, and I would call that company. But because I am a member, that's the company that I'm calling. Yes, I'm getting 10% off, but I still had to pay about $175 for them to come in there and do the repair.
You'd have paid triple.
Maybe not, but they still got my business, right? So the membership, the beauty of having a membership, and I've got one for public adjusting that we're going to talk about. The beauty about having a membership is it just keeps them as a customer forever. Forget the fact that they're making $15 a month times 12 times 100 or 1,000 customers. That's anywhere from $18,000 to $180,000 a year. That's recurring. that you never have to worry about again. A buyer comes in, they're just like, what? All day, right? But it also keeps them as a member. I'm going to use the AC person every single time. And if they have any upsells, if they have any new books or new products, guess who's the first people that are going to get the membership discounts? That's more business, because they're your customer for life. So anything that you do, I don't care if it's water mitigation. Water mitigation is the easiest. I've got several clients right now, water mitigation, that they don't only work claims, they also work property management companies, right? And what do? They do all their minor repairs and paint jobs and stuff like that. I asked the guy, he's a buddy of mine, his name's Albert. I said, Albert, can you figure out this one property management company, how much they pay you a month, like on average? And he's like, yeah, of course. I'm like, why don't you take that average and tell the property management company, here, I'll charge you this flat rate. You can call me as many times as you want. That could go bad if they call you too much, but you just tell them, look, we'll do this. We'll talk again in 3 months, see where we're at, and see so we can just figure this out. And you call all your favorite customers. What about a monthly maintenance plan for your homeowners, where you just go for $15 a month and you can just go? I'm talking to general contractors to do that. I always need a handyman. The only thing I know how to do in my house is hang a painting on the wall. It's terrible. 5 minutes. And I would love a general contractor to just be able to call to come out to do the stupid little things, and I'll just pay them every month. So recurring revenue is super important, subscriptions and membership. All right, I'm going to try to get through this quick. If you're having trouble hiring and you don't know who to hire first, this is gold. Take a photo. Yes, please, take a photo. The hiring ladder is also known as the replacement ladder. The replacement of who? The owner of the company. The first person you need to hire is an executive assistant or just somebody in administration. That is the first person you need to hire. As the CEO, as the owner, you should not be doing any of the administrative things like invoicing and so on and so forth. The next person that you want to hire is delivery, customer support, dealing with the customer. That's always the second person. The CEO, the owner, cannot deal with every single customer. It is impossible. I know that you're the face of the business, but it ain't good. You got to get out. You don't have to show you just have to show your impact, not your presence. Okay? And you can do that without having to always be there. Then you hire your marketing team and your marketing person. Okay? But before that, in all honesty, while you're doing delivery, when you get somebody for delivery and administration, then you could focus on the marketing. You could figure out what you like. I think it's always better to have a client that understands marketing, right? It's going to make you more successful. So get into the marketing, do the social media, and figure out. But then hire somebody to work on your website, hire somebody to make all your social media profiles and do all that stuff so that you could focus on the leads that come in and close. But then when you have enough leads coming in, then it is enticing for you to hire 2 salespeople to close all those leads. And then you can just focus on leadership. And as this scales here, the sales and marketing, because you've got the team to do it, then you start hiring more people here, and you can bring some of these people up into the leadership role. That's how you build a 7-figure business, right there in the ladder. Take a picture of it. All right, I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I should have dropped the mic right there, though. Everybody got it? So the most common objections that I get are like, oh, well, I'm not ready to sell. Doesn't matter. Now's the best time to prepare. Right now. Oh, my business isn't big. Doesn't matter. Now's the best time to prepare. My numbers are messy. Doesn't matter. Now's the best time to prepare. You got to visualize, guys. Visualize with the end in mind. Visualize the business. Visualize the life, because that's what you deserve. That's why we started the presentation with visualization. Your business grows without you. That's what you want. You know exactly what it's worth, and you have the option to scale, to sell, or to step away and allow it to run itself. You seem like you got a lot going on. Yeah. This is a life that starts with clarity, and that's exactly what I'm going to give you next. So I've got the Valley Clarity Report. What I basically do is I put 16 years of experience, and I have the most epic conversation with you for like an hour and a half. I truly enjoy it because I speak your language. I am there now, and I have been there, and I have been through the trenches. Trust me, I'm just lucky I didn't give you my rock bottom story, because it's rough. Company overview, SWOT analysis, and evaluation of the actual business. Depending on the size, we either do an SDE or we do an EBITDA. I give you a 1, 3, 5, or a 10-year roadmap. And we also do quarterly milestones. So it's June now. It's beautiful because we do Q3 checklist of what needs to be done, Q4, and then we go from there until that jumping up and down number that you get. And I give you a value readiness score, and you get 60 minutes with me. And the price that I charge for doing something like this, the value of it is $6,000. Okay, if you guys want to take a picture, I've got a QR code eventually, but the value of this is $6,000. I typically charge $3,000 in order to do it, but because I'm so grateful for being here tonight, and a big shout out to Randolph Love for you guys, I'm doing 80% off for $600 if anybody is interested at all. It's like a 40-page report. I do them myself, and every time I finish one, I'm like, man, I wish I had this when I was running my own little thing there, or in the beginning of my career. But if you guys don't want to pay me, that's okay. That's fine. I get it. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to take the entire roadmap and everything that I put together, and I put it together for you guys as a free lead magnet for you guys to check out. All you have to do, however, there is a catch. You got to follow me on Instagram, and I want you to send me a message, clarity. That's all you got to do. And I will literally just email it to you. Done, completed, finished, and you can go see basically everything that we talked about today in a much more smooth form on how to really scale your business to the next level, whether you want to sell or whether you want to just remove yourself from it. Guys, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate your time. Visualize, visualize, visualize with the end in mind. Read that book. I'm telling you, it will change your company. And very nice meeting you guys. Thank you guys. See you.
Everybody give it up again for Vince Perri.